private detectives Bernie Weinstock and Norman Lugg, together with their assistant Oliver Ottershaw, have become involved with Helen Carter. Her late father, Jack, wrote a wartime diary which revealed that he hid a large quantity of diamonds somewhere in Holland, just before being taken prisoner by the Germans. Unfortunately, the last page of the diary is almost unreadable, neither the hiding place nor the Dutch town being revealed. The only decipherable words are Horn, Corn, and D-E-double-S. Bernie's car has been stolen by Mickey Jordan, a car thief working for gang leader Cyril Blackman. He listens to Helen's tape, which was in the car, and decides to have Bernie and Norman followed. Also interested in the case following the theft of Bernie's car and a raid on his office is Inspector Dearlove, who is keeping tabs on them. Bernie and Norman pay a visit to George Billiard, Jack Carter's old platoon sergeant, who now runs a yacht-broking business. Billiard assures them he knows nothing of the Carter incident, but it appears that he is in league with Foxwell, another member of his wartime platoon. They leave immediately for Harsdorp, the Dutch town where Carter hid the diamonds. Reporting back to Helen, the detectives learn that her father had a wartime sweetheart, whom they decide to interview. Helen offers to fly them to Holland the following morning. But when she leaves the house, her journey is rudely interrupted.
Let me go. Who are you? What do you want with me?
We don't know what we want, my lady. That's up to our governor. But you behave yourself. Otherwise, I'll give you a little tap with this. Here, what are we stopping for?
Mr. B told me to pick up a couple of bottles of brandy. Keep an eye on her. Won't be a minute.
You better let me go, or you'll find yourself in terrible trouble. Kidnapping's a serious offence, you know.
Yeah, if I were you, I'd write and complain to your MP.
Stupid git. What do you think he's up to? Watch her. Oi, you! Pig's head! Why don't you take a driving test?
You addressing me, friend?
Yeah, cough up. Yours are a headlight.
Dearie me, I am clumsy. I keep breaking things. Like your nose, for instance.
Oh! Yeah, if you're looking for trouble, mate, you've just found it.
I'm not going to run away if you fancy your chances. I don't think you're a very nice gentleman.
Why not?
Even your young lady's running away from you.
Here, get up! The bird's scarpered! Thanks very much, mate. See you again soon. Oh, excuse me, mate.
Yeah?
Did you see what happened to the people in that motor?
Well, you with them, friend?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, they went pelting off in that direction.
Yeah.
Oh, so. Be nice to people, and they'll be nice to you.
Hey, what's your game?
Now listen, boys and girls, I've got some news for you. Daddy's going away for a couple of days. All right, don't panic. Oh, Griselda, such a softie you are. I might go to Holland. I might even bring you back some Dutch bulbs to play with. Now, while I'm away, I want you to behave yourselves. No cross-pollinating and getting up to naughty tricks with bees, right? I think I'll put you over here, young man. Boy. Now what? Bertie Weinstock? Oh, hello, Ellen, how are you? You been what? Kidnapped? Well, where are you? Waterloo Station? Well, now listen, you stay there, and me and the boys will be round to fetch you, right? Understand? Good. My life.
Oh, Cyril, that was a lovely move.
Thank you, darling, thank you.
Not yours. I meant that through ball from midfield. Caught the offside trap and beat the defence square.
Gloria, I did not bring you here to watch football, you know.
Well, that's what I thought when you said QPR, but they're playing very well. Oh! Handball, ref! Handball! I like their tactics. They're not letting the opposition play their own game.
I'm not being allowed to play mine either. Come in.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Blackman. Oh, I'm sorry to disturb you.
What the devil are you doing here, Reg? You're supposed to be doing an errand for me.
Oh, I'm afraid we've mislaid the merchandise.
Tighten up on your markings. You're meant to be playing 4-2-4. Now, come on.
I'll get the details from you later. I am not pleased.
I didn't think you would be, but what are we going to do now?
I don't know. Let me think.
You dirty beast. That was right over the top. Send him off, Rev.
Gloria, why don't you have some more champagne?
Great game, isn't it, Cyril?
The bird is hardly likely to return to her nest.
That's very true.
She will, of course, contact our private detective friend.
Weinstock, you mean?
Yes. Is Mickey Jordan still following him?
Yeah.
Then he'll know where they meet and when.
It stands to reason.
Right, I want you to go back to the garage, wait till Mickey rings in, go out and grab her. I want whatever information she may have.
There'll be no slip-ups this time, Mr. Blackman.
I sincerely hope not, Reg, because you might find yourself being made redundant. He's one up on me.
Marvellous, isn't it? There's a big fight on tonight, now I'm going to miss it.
Well, never mind. Perhaps your missus will beat you up another time. Look, there she is.
Oh, that's better. Hello, mate, it's you. Yeah, where are you? Right. In a car, lads. Waterloo Station. Weinstock and his mates are there with a bird. Hello, Mickey. Right, you stay where you are. We'll be with you in a few minutes. Right.
Unfortunately, the door's shut just as they reach my carriage.
You're a very lucky girl, Helen.
Did you recognise any of the three men in the car?
No, I've never seen any of them before.
Well, what on earth would they want to snatch you for?
Unfortunately, it sticks out a mile, mate. It's got to be something to do with them diamonds.
It can't be. Nobody knows except us.
Well, how about the geezer who nicked my car? Had the tapes of the conversation we had with Ellen in it. No, it's probably some clever clogs who's put two and two together and made four.
Don't sound very likely.
Oh, well, if you assume he's a villain and not just a joyrider, it could explain the fellow in the office with the shotgun.
Oh, you mean if he played back the tape, he could be looking for the diary?
Makes sense. Oh, not bad for British Rail. What is it, mushroom? There. Oh, no, it's minestrone. It's got to be. It's got lumps in it.
Actually, it's tea.
What I don't understand is, even if these men had played the tape, how did they find out my address?
Seems obvious to me.
Oh, everything seems obvious to you, smart ass. Sorry, miss.
We're being followed.
What?
Someone's probably watching us at this very moment.
Quick, on your feet. No use making ourselves an easy target, you know. Well, one thing's for sure, you can't go back to your place tonight, Ellen. Those fellas might have another try. The best thing is for the four of us to stick together. We'll spend the night at my house and go straight to the airfield in the morning.
Do you think it might be a good idea, Mr. Weinstock, if we left the station by the back door, so to speak?
It's a good idea. If you know the way, lead on. What's all this then?
Bernie, those are two of the men that kidnapped me.
Right, lady. You come quietly with us, and there won't be any need for any violence.
She'll do no such thing. Get behind me, Ellen. Go on.
Perhaps I should have a word with him, Mr. Weinstock.
That won't do no good, Ollie. You may be brainy, but it's brawn that's needed here.
Hand her over, you're wasting time.
Now, look here. My name is Oliver Ottershaw, and I think it only fair to warn you that if you persist in your present course of conduct, it could lead to very serious consequences. So I suggest you push on. Go on. Go away.
We're quaking in our boots, ain't we, lads?
Yeah. Very well. Excuse me. Thank you.
You be watching too much telly, Sonny Jim. That's going to give me great pleasure to cut your ears off. Let that be a lesson to you, young man.
Jolly good job they cleared off when they did. I was just about to lose my temper.
You were marvellous, Oliver.
Not only marvellous, incredible.
Typical of you, Oliver. Hogging all the action. I was just about to tear 'em apart myself.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Lugg. I didn't realise you wanted to do it.
Oh, that's all right, mate. We'll forget it this time. You handled it reasonably well.
Ignore him, Ollie. When it comes to chops, you can't tell the difference between karate or lamb. You're looking at a fighting machine. Trained to a hair. Honed to a knife edge. Where'd you learn all that stuff?
In Japan. I went there after I left school to study under the great Hokkaido Fujinaka Nishi.
Oh, him. No wonder you're good.
Have you heard of him?
Never.
I'm black belt, actually. 5th Dan.
Don't you think we ought to be going, Bernie? They may come back with reinforcements.
Let them come. My boy can cope.
He might be a wonder man, but he can't stop bullets.
Well, that's a thought, isn't it? Come on, let's get out of here.
That was a delicious pudding, Bernie.
Certainly was. Thank you for volunteering to cook, Oliver.
A pleasure.
I was going to do an egg and chips myself, but I must say that first course was delicious. What was it called?
Dame de Fleton du Glaire with pomme dauphine.
You're amazing, Oliver. You really are. Where did you learn to cook like that?
Well, after I left Japan, I went to Paris to study under maître chef de cuisine Gaston Rouffoux.
I reckon it's demeaning for a man to cook. It's a woman's job. Men that cook are usually poofters.
That's the daftest statement I ever heard. You enjoyed the meal, all right?
Was all right for foreign muck.
You had 3 helpings.
Well, it's not filling like proper food, is it?
Everybody fancy a drop of brandy?
Oh, yeah.
Not for me, thanks, Bernie. I must keep a clear head if I'm flying tomorrow.
You can say that again. Not much chance of getting breathalyzed up there.
You men go and sit down. I'll get on with washing up.
Right. Cheers.
Oh, blimey, who's that? I wasn't expecting anybody. Go and answer it, will you, Oliver?
Yes, certainly.
It's probably my missus checking to see I'm really here.
Well, she won't ring the bell. She'll kick the door in.
It's Inspector Dearlove. He wants to have a few words with you, Mr. Weinstock.
Well, good evening, Inspector, and your trusty sergeant. Do take a seat.
Oh, that's very kind. We'd never get it in the car. Oh, but as good as gold.
To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? Don't tell me you found my wallet, or better still, my car.
I'm afraid not, Mr. Weinstock. But I can assure you that we are deploying to the full the resources of the department which deals with such cases, i.e. Police Constable Fish.
I'm honoured to be receiving the attentions of such a distinguished investigator. PC Fish, no less.
Don't knock it, Mr. Weinstock. He'll keep a lookout for your belongings. He had a clue last week. Had a clue. Turned out to be a red herring.
Brilliant the way your mind works, sir. Brilliant.
Yeah. Right, Frisbee, right. That's enough of that. I like a good laugh the same as the next man. Must remember we're still on duty.
Oh, what a pity. That means I can't offer you a drink. Now, what was it you wanted?
I'd like to ask you a few questions, Mr. Weinstock.
Far away.
I understand that you 3 were involved in a little fracas in Waterloo Station early this evening, in the company of a lady.
Yes, that's...
Utterly wrong. Where on earth did you hear such a ridiculous story?
From one of my detective constables. He said there was a lot of punching and kicking and bodies flying about.
Oh, probably a couple of commuters having a friendly chat with the train driver.
No point in denying it. I'm having you followed.
Why? What for? I'm not a criminal.
Possibly not, sir. But we happen to know that there's someone else following you, and he is a villain.
Then why don't you do your duty and arrest him?
Because I'm trying to find out who's employing him and why. Tell me about this case you're working on.
Case? What case?
The one involving diamonds to the tune of a 7-figure sum. Mr. Lugg knows all about it, don't you, sir?
No, I don't.
That's not what you told an attractive young WPC in a pub in Upper Lenwade.
You mean that bird was a copper?
Still is, to my knowledge.
We're not all like PC-49, you know, sir.
No. More like PC 36, 24, 36.
I'm surprised at you, Inspector. I really am. Fancy you getting taken in with a story like that. That's his chat-up line. He spins them yards to all the birds, don't you know him?
Yeah, that's right, I do. Yeah.
Yes, he's doing very well and always got kids all over the country.
So you've nothing whatsoever to tell me?
Oh, nothing at all, no.
Well, there you are, Frisbee. As the artist with the broken pencil said, I've drawn a blank. My apologies for troubling you, gentlemen. You 3 are up to something. I don't know what it is, but I'll find out in the end. And if it's anything illegal, you'll find yourself in the same position as the nation's publicans.
And what's that, Inspector?
Spending a lot of time behind bars.
Well, that's a nice little turn-up. Not only are we being followed by some villain, we got the law on our tail as well.
But what I don't understand is why you lied to him. Well, surely there wouldn't be any harm in the police knowing what we're doing.
Oh, with the sort of money involved in this case, the fewer the people that know about it, the better.
Well, I think I'll take myself off to bed. If we get to the airfield by about 8, you'll be in Amsterdam before lunch. Thanks for everything. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Ellen.
Night.
Well, love, I only hope you're still alive and still living at the same address. And can remember something that'll help us find the diamonds.
Well, I hope the wind drops for this little plane trip. I don't fancy a bumpy ride.
I only hope I'm not sick. I wish I had a bag.
Oh, leave your wife out of it, Norm.
It's very nice of you to let me come along for the ride, Mr. Weinstock, but I wish you'd let me stay with you in Holland and give you a hand.
Your job is to stay with Miss Carter, look after her, see she's OK, all right?
Ready, gentlemen?
Oh, everything all right, Helen?
Yes, fine. We're clear for takeoff.
I must just go to the gents before we leave.
Good thinking. After all, up there, you can't pull into a lay-by and nip behind a cloud, can you? I suppose all the parachutes are on board all right, Helen?
You won't be needing parachutes, Bernie. You'll be as safe as a church up there.
Oh, I'm not worried about up there. I'm not worried about down here. I'm worried about the bit in between.
You know, statistically speaking, Mr. Weinstock, you have more chance of being knocked down by a bus than being killed in a plane crash.
I was knocked down by a bus.
I must say, George, I've never been a great one at the sea and sailing and all that lark, but I really enjoyed this trip over.
Well, I'm not surprised. You spent most of the time down there knocking back my booze.
Wouldn't have been much use to you up here now, would it? I mean, you're the one who's expert at handling the boat.
Ah, that's to be expected. After all, I've received the finest possible training when I was in the Royal Navy.
Now, George, remember who you're talking to. It's old Foxy.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Foxy. This phony act of mine is becoming second nature. I have learnt never to lower my guard. Yeah, it's a beautiful city, Amsterdam, isn't it?
Very nice. All it needs is a few proper English pubs. How are we going to get to Arstorp, by the way?
Well, we'll hire a car. Shouldn't take us more than an hour to get there.
What do we look for when we arrive?
I wish I knew, Foxy, my old son. I wish I knew.
Oh, thank you very much. It was a very smooth flight. Very nice indeed.
It's a pound to a penny that Jack Carter nicked a whole lot of diamonds from that jeweller's shop just before he was grabbed by the Jerrys. Now, if the stones were still on him, they would have vanished without a trace, but they obviously didn't because those two detectives are looking for them. So, Carter must have hidden them somewhere between leaving the shop and getting put in the bag.
George, you've got a very deductive mind. I'm surprised you never made it beyond Sergeant.
Oh, I undoubtedly would have done. Except I was found in a somewhat indelicate situation with a young lady behind the nappy.
I mean, half the flaming army was called like that.
Yeah, but not with the General's youngest daughter.
In that case, she was lucky to make Sergeant.
Well, Foxy, let's find a nice cafe and have a decent meal. I'm starving.
Good idea.
When it's spring again, I'll bring again tulips from Amsterdam. With a love that's true, I'll bring to you.
Why don't you shut up?
What's the matter with you?
You've been singing that blooming song ever since we left England. I'm sick and tired of it.
All right, don't get stroppy. I'm told I've got a very pleasant voice.
Whoever told you that must have had his deaf aid switched off. Anyway, what kind of transport do you call this? Why didn't you get a car?
Bloke at the airport said he'd lend us these 2 bikes. You can't look a gift horse in the mouth, can you?
How much further is it?
The bloke said about half an hour.
Foreigners, what do they know?
I saw a mouse where there on the stairs, where on the stairs, right there, a little mouse with clogs on, Well, I did care. Go and clip clippity clop on the stairs.
I'll go clip clippity clop on your head in a minute.
Nice day, isn't it? Well, this is Idlestart, all right, but where's 241? Oh, I'll ask this geezer here. Excuse me, pardonnez-moi. Je suis Angleterre. Signor, compris? We wish to ask ein question.
Oh, by all means. Oh, go ahead.
Goody, goody.
What is your question?
You speak the English?
I do.
Ah, good. We want to know where 241 Idlestart is.
You found it. This houseboat is it.
Oh, well, there's a turn-up. We're looking for the lady in this photo here.
That is an old picture of my aunt. Who are you? What do you want?
Look at the inscription on the photo.
To my darling Jack. Ever yours, Greta. This Jack must have been a British soldier that my aunt knew.
That's right, yeah.
Obviously a close friend.
Oh, exactly, yes.
How is he?
He's kicked the bucket.
Yeah.
Really? What a strange thing to do.
No, what my friend means that he's pushing up the daisies.
Oh, he's a gardener.
No, he's gone before. He's passed over. He's croaked it.
Snuffed it.
Really? But how is he?
He's dead.
I'm sorry to hear that. And so will my aunt be.
Yes, well, I mean, we'd like to have a word with her if possible.
Oh, of course. She runs a cafe not too far from here.
Oh, would. Can you tell us which direction?
Oh, no need. Jump in the mental boat. I will take you.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much.
Not a bad bit of grub, that. Hey, George?
Satisfying and sleep-inducing. Well, I'll have one more of these and then I'll go below for a kip, I think.
George, did you see who that was? In that little boat?
No.
What's them? Two private eyes from England. Weinstock and his mate.
Blimey, you're right. They must be onto us.
Don't lose sight of them, George. I'll just go below and collect something from my bag. Come on, George, quick.
Foxy, where'd you get that from?
I nicked it from the Colonel's weapons collection. Thought it might come in handy sometime.
Jack's back at the same time next Sunday. Coming up in 15 minutes or so, Poirot, and that's after an extra treat after the break.